Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. This week, I have brought you to a place that has seen its share of change and hauntings.
The activity here is not only constant but current. Poltergeists, phantoms and footsteps have all been witnessed, and with that in mind, we just had to come and investigate the Greengate Brewery.
In 1828, a successful cotton manufacturer by the name of John Lees bought the Greengate House premises in Middleton, Manchester, and set up a brewery. Although new to this line of work, John Lees succeeded in creating a thriving family business. In 1876, ale production was so good that a new brew house had to be built to cope with demand. 2 years later, the founder's sole surviving grandson, John Willie Lees, took the helm and the brewery became J.W. Lees and Company. The brewery has managed to change with the times and remains a successful independent company. The brewery has a high level of reported paranormal activity, and of special interest to the Most Haunted team is that so much of it is recent.
It's so refreshing to find a place that is not shrouded in mystery and murders and death. It's just an ordinary place of work. It's been here for over 175 years. There are cottages that are much, much older, going back certainly to the 17th century. Because it's been inhabited for so many hundreds of years, we've got folks that lived and died in the cottages. I think there's every possibility that they, for some reason, still haunt the place. And then we've also got the ghosts of ordinary working people in the brew house across the road. And it's quite different from that point of view. It's refreshing.
As well as poltergeist activity and heavy footsteps, a figure wearing a long white coat has been seen walking across this floor many times. But when challenged, the figure simply vanishes.
We've got an area just above the fermenting room in the brewhouse where there's just an open space, and most people who work in the brewery have heard these footsteps from one time or another, and they're not like, it can be steam hammer or something like that, but it's not. It's actual footsteps walking across a floor, and the positive footsteps, you know, you can actually hear them going probably, 12, 14 steps. And we've been up to investigate, and there's been no one around, which you wouldn't expect to find anyone around because there shouldn't be anyone there. The strangest thing I ever saw, I was working in the fermenting room and I needed to go and see who I thought was the head brewer at the time in his office, because I'd seen him walk across the room and go into his office, which was only one way in and one way out. I got into the office and there was no one there, completely unexplained. I haven't got a clue who that person was.
A tall, dark, cloaked figure has been seen moving slowly between the filing shelves. So horrific is this image that many people refuse to come up to the attic on their own.
Every so often we have to move the files from our office up into the roof, which is horrendous because there was about 50 files to move, so I was up and down all morning. And I just got a feeling that somebody had walked in, and I was just waiting for them to appear, which is very unusual because nobody really goes up there. And as I looked between the stacking shelves, there was just a shadow coming towards me. And I don't know what I thought it was at first. I just carried on looking, but it just went sideways into the stacking system, which there was no gaps in the shelving system at all. So it just went through my lever arch files. But it was only afterwards talking to somebody else and describing it, and they said, well, yeah, that's what we saw. I was like, right, fine. But they didn't see it in the roof, so it must have been just having a wander about when it spotted me.
The ghost of a lady has been seen sitting on the opposite side of this table. Also, a night watchman was hit across the face by unseen hands as he walked past this door, and since then, he's refused to come back.
The amazing thing about this 175 years, there's very little talk of death and destruction, if you like, but when they were sinking a well underneath the brew house, there are stories that quite a few of the workmen were killed, possibly by falling masonry or possibly even falling down. But there is a definite fact that one man went missing for 2 or 3 days, and they found him curled up at the bottom of the well, dead. The well is now covered up, unfortunately, under the sampling room. It'd be very interesting for us to do a vigil in the area where that well is, just to see if any spirits come out.
Objects have been seen flying across this room, and also the feeling of impending doom has been experienced by many staff members. So is this place haunted? We have 24 hours to find out. Now, Phil, we're in the boardroom. A lot of paranormal things supposedly have happened here. What do you think about them? Do you think they're real, or do you think it's in people's imaginations?
That's always a difficult question to answer. It could be even a bit of both, but what I find most interesting is the fact that the woman that's been seen here is sat facing what looks like a cupboard here now. Now, I went outside to check for a chimney, and there is indeed a chimney there. So at one point, there was a fireplace here, so I think she's seen facing the fireplace.
Now, what about the security guard? I mean, that to me sounds really quite frightening.
Well, I find that very interesting. Of course, the security guard was hit in the face in the corridor outside. Now, we don't know what his physical condition was prior to this happening. You know, was he tired? Was he emotional? And we'll never really know because we can't trace the guy to talk to.
And what about the general feel of the place? So many people here, so many staff members have seen lots of different things. How do you think that we're going to react tonight?
Well, of course, what we have to remember is this is a brand new experience for the crew here. As far as I know, nobody's done an investigation in a brewery before. So we have new smells to get used to, new noises. We have the tank room, which has been the subject of poltergeist activity. We have the fermenting room. And I think later on, we're going to find it very, very scary indeed when it gets dark.
This was the first time we had ever conducted an investigation in a brewery. The atmosphere was certainly different from anything we had experienced before. Some members of the crew were feeling apprehensive about the night ahead, but once medium Derek Okora had arrived on location, we were feeling confident and were ready to start exploring the Greengate Brewery.
What's the matter?
There's total in this atmosphere here, in this energy here. There's a poor energy, a poor feeling, a not nice feeling, a person? Okay. Oh, sadness. And also despair. Sadness and despair. And thrown down. Okay. I'm very aware of falling. I seem to go down. I go down into like, it's like a well or it's a vat. Down, bang. Damage to my head. But there's also across here. The spirit man is active here.
Is he grounded?
Yes. He was murdered. He was murdered. His life taken away from him here. And there's a strong... What's that sound? I've just had something placed around my neck. Circular. The man's physical body was put down there. There's under this floor here. It's like, but it has liquid water. And I feel he was murdered, his life taken from him before he went down. He's done something to the person who took his life, and I feel this person whose life he took, he knew something and he shut him up. He shut him up. The only way he could do that was by taking his life.
You were describing something here. What was that?
It's like as if I had something on my chest, and it wasn't emblazoned there, but it was like a weight, and it seemed to have a crest or something. I don't know if it's like a medallion or so. And it's like as if...
Like a necklace, big necklace
Yes.
type thing, right, okay.
And it's like as if I feel that this person who took the life of this man wore this.
Are you having a laugh?
Did you hear that?
What would that be?
Did you hear that?
Shit.
Did you hear it?
Come on! Come on!
Down here. It was like so bang, bang,
Was it
bang.
there or was it down there?
I'm not sure, probably close down there.
Did you hear it, Tom?
Yeah, I heard it, yeah.
Did we get it?
Hey?
Are you sure?
It was 5 bangs on
One,
a...
two, three,
bum,
four,
bum, bum,
five.
bum. Yeah,
Could have been up here.
5 of them.
The tapping we all heard had been very distinct. Would we be able to locate the source of this mysterious phenomenon? We had all heard very distinct banging noises from another part of the brewery. These noises were frightening as there was no logical explanation for the activity.
I felt as if it came from this end of it. And it was like so strong. 5 raps, bang, 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 bang. There's no one down here than ourselves.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
We were all up those stairs, weren't we?
Yes.
That was weird.
Yes.
Wow.
They're listening to us.
That was amazing, that.
They're listening to us. I think one is listening. So
What was that?
there's another one.
What was that,
That
door?
sounded like a door.
That was a bang upstairs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which way? No,
There's nothing that way.
There.
There's nothing there. No, I've checked it.
Is there anybody else in the building?
No, there's a night watchman.
He's got his own place, hasn't he? He's got his own room.
Yes.
Away from here. Yeah.
What's that door then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Does that sound like it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I thought the...
In here.
What? What did you say?
I just thought when I came here, I thought,
Yeah. Let me go now.
Was that you? Shit, Richard.
it was duller.
You just heard a what?
I thought, now, and like something shuffling, but it was right in front of me.
Let's go back in there, let's go back in there.
That was me.
Okay. Do you think it's that's I'm here, attention, attention?
Yes, absolutely. You know, whether it's one individual or two, you know, they're indicating that they want to, you know, draw attention to themselves. So
That's good.
it's good. It's a good sign for us to get more evidence. Okay, we're entering a different energy level again here. It's like, without a doubt, there would be energy here, up and down, in this area here, of a spirit person, if not spirit persons at times, and sounds and audibles here. But I feel as if, as we're drawing closer up this way, I feel as if, I just feel as if, you know, as if, the only way I can put it is if I've come to the end of things. I've just like...
Giving up?
Yeah. But not purposely. It's not a purpose feeling. But I feel in this area of a person's, the futile feelings just before he's leaving his physical body. And the only way I can describe it is if I'm drawn to the liquid again. And I feel as if and it's like as if I'm in the liquid, I can't get out of it. And like as if I've lost my life.
Can you just ask Sam who this person was that was murdered?
This is a different person.
Oh, it's a different
It's a
person?
different soul. It's not the same energy of what I was experiencing before.
Is this water? You're saying liquid, you're not saying water.
I would say that it was liquor.
Well, oh, it's
Alcohol.
fallen into a big vat.
Yes.
Do you know when this would have happened, when he would have died here?
That could have been, thank you, Sam. That could have been the 18 something, I feel. 18, I'm not sure if that's 86 or 18, 8, it's in between those times,
Okay.
I feel. And it sounds like rich. It's either Richards or Richard.
So it's
that
either a
name.
first name or a surname?
Yes, it's one of the two.
Right.
Connected with this soul.
With all the lights turned off in the brewery, we headed to the ballroom where many staff members have reported seeing the ghostly image of a woman sitting in one of the chairs. Even more disturbing is the security man's account of being hit across the face by unseen hands in this part of the building. Who are the spirits that seem to linger in this boardroom? We hope Derek would have the answers.
What is coming in here is the energies again coming into this room of this person with this emblem. Who would come in here as well, in the spirit body.
You mentioned an emblem. Sorry, Derek, just interrupt you. You mentioned
It's a
an emblem.
symbol or an emblem. It's
Like,
and I seem to have it here to my chest.
Right, like a position of high office or
Yes,
something like that.
absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Authoritative.
Yeah.
He wouldn't thank you to try and even check his authority. A person that could be quite gruff in his approach within his life anyway. Lacking in tolerance, and feel as if I feel an unfair streak running through the soul, a very unfair streak. A person that I would say carried more secrets to his persona than what was, the outside world seeing about him.
Right. And that's the same guy that committed the murder?
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. And he walks here, especially. He's around here a lot. He really is.
So he gets around quite a bit, this spirit?
He does. He moves about, Phil. There's nothing that keeps him from moving, Ivy, to the different sections. He does move.
Sam, try and give it the name for this person, because you brought him up quite a lot.
Yes. You see, this is not Sam giving it to me. This because you've inquired. Now, I don't know if this is like surname or the first name, okay? I feel that could be the initial, the J, would be for John, and I would also get the T that would go to, I feel, Thomas. Now, I don't know whether they're connected or whether it's the same person.
Okay.
Okay? Well, I'll tell you this a little bit about this character. This character, okay, I firmly believe that he's been listening to these conversations, and he's got a skulky, sneaky type of persona, and he wouldn't go over the top to how can I put this, to make his presence felt.
What year would he have been around?
I don't know why, but the figures are given us here between the 1822, 1827. But for some reason I stop at 1827 and it seems to stop there. So that must be a significance to it.
Maybe when he died?
Possibly.
Okay.
Go on. Oh, I am establishing this. Facially, which would be very profound, this male, okay, had very, very high cheekbones. And also the nose was very, very, I'll say, towards the end anyway, bulbous.
Right.
Okay? And I seem to have, round my shoulders, some kind of brownish, greyish cape to my shoulders, which I know this man would have.
Is that where the chain's attached that you're talking about?
I feel so, yes.
Right.
And I'm also, for some reason, it's just come to me now, just quickly, is if I've got some kind of, not strong, but mild facial scar.
He's getting closer.
I feel his energy. I know he is close. I know we're being listened into.
Is he the one responsible for moving things in this room?
Yes, he is.
Right, okay.
Yes, he is.
Right. just try something, and I just want to put one of these glasses on the table, if that's all right.
With so much activity reported in this room, we decided to conduct a séance using an upturned glass.
Can you see the glass on the table? Could you try and move it?
If there were any spirits in the room, hopefully they would try and communicate by moving the glass.
Try and move it to the centre of the table.
After 30 minutes of waiting and with no results, we decided to leave the room, but to keep the glass on the table, lock the door and return later, when hopefully something could have happened. The brewery was turning into a very interesting place to investigate. Little did I know, I was about to have the most terrifying experience to date, and one that I will never forget. Whilst Carl, Stuart, John and myself headed for the barrel room, Kath and Suzanne went up into the highest part of the building, the brewing room, and already they were terrified.
Oh, it's horrible up here.
You are touching me, aren't you?
No, I'm not touching you.
You're touching me back, aren't you?
No, I'm not touching you back. Now I am, but I wasn't just then. Why, did you just feel something on your back?
Yeah. Do you know, every time I come on these locations, I try my hardest. And, you know, to try and at least...
Shh! What the fuck was that? Kath, I didn't like that. Did you hear that? It sounded like a footstep right next to me.
Try and at least... Shh! At least... Shh!
I swear to God, I heard a footstep just over to the right there, did you?
Oh.
Did you hear it?
Yeah. Oh, this is horrible.
It's very echoey down here, isn't it? So even the slightest...
I heard something from behind me.
Behind you?
Yep. But...
Let's go and have a look.
Oh, what's that?
Right.
Yeah, I know, it's okay, it's a reflection. Yeah.
It is pitch black, isn't it?
Yeah, you see, I thought I heard a spatter. I thought I heard, it may have been water. It may have been water, but it was, it may have been nothing. It may have been my mind. Well, no, I heard something, but I think it could be explained as water dripping, maybe.
Yeah, but I came in here earlier, and when we first heard the sound, and I heard something that sounded like a behind me, which was here. Yeah, but again, it could have been anything. Could have been gas escaping from one of these barrels or something.
Oh, do you know what? I've not moved out of one area.
We haven't walked anywhere.
Suzanne, my legs are killing. My legs are hurting. I'm scared to death.
Should we have a walk round?
Where?
I don't know. You try and get a close-up of us two, while I'll get up and in front of you. Oh my God! What was that, Kath? What was that?
Suzanne.
What are these noises? It's horrible. They sound like footsteps, Kath, or... Did you hear that? Did you hear it?
Yes, yeah.
I wasn't just squealing
No.
because I'm a wuss. Did you... Oh,
I don't like it.
we've not even moved. We just went to turn round and we couldn't even go any further. There's noises.
Why don't two of us, how about this? Why don't two of us stay here at this end of the basement, and two of us go to where the poltergeist activity is at the other end.
Okay.
For 15, 20 minutes, and then we meet again.
Okay.
Right, who wants to go where?
I'm not forced, I'll do whatever. I'm okay. Stu, you and me up there? Yeah, fine. Yeah, okay.
Me and you stay here, yeah?
It's a horrible place, isn't it? What's them noises?
Oh,
I don't know whether I can carry on because I'm just stood here like a lemon. Did you hear a click? Yeah. Oh, that was just a little click, wasn't it?
We've just split up into two groups. Carnivette are on their own back there, and me and John are actually going down there now, and it's kind of eerie down this end of the cellar. As you can hear a tapping sound in the distance. So that's quite frightening as well now. We're going to go down there, it's pitch black. The other thing we've got is the night vision cameras and a small torch.
This is pretty scary actually, because you've got a corridor running here,
Yeah.
you've got a little light, you can see the outlines of barrels.
Yeah, well, we'll go down and have a look, see what happens.
Is there anyone here in this room with us that wants to show themselves to us?
Is there anybody here? Can you hear my voice? You want to communicate with us? Please try and move something. Try and make a noise. Anything at all, please. Please show yourself if you're up here in the upper parts of the brewery. With Kath and I, scaring the life out of us.
This is where the noise is coming from, the tapping sound. So, just so you know back home, that's what's making the noise.
It's very quiet, isn't it?
Do you want to get the beer kegs on?
Oh, this is freaky, this is it? Yeah. Hearing that tap, tap, tapping noise as well. It's horrible. I'm going to walk into the centre of the room. Did you look? Please tell me
No,
you
no,
did
I
that.
didn't. How can I do it? I'm on the camera.
I know. Oh my God. Okay, I'm freaked out now.
Don't be freaked out, don't be freaked out. If something's moved, move it. Carry on, move something now for us. Please, move something now.
Suzanne, I know I'm a mad ass, but what do you think? Oh my God, I think we're going to have to carry on for a bit longer. Suzanne, I can hear people moving. I'm so scared.
See, something could have dropped off of one of those pipes. I'll think logically.
Stuart on a walkie-talkie.
Have you got a walkie-talkie?
Yeah.
Well, good. No, that's something dropped. That's something dropped. Something has dropped, sweetheart. Something has dropped.
Stuart can hear me. God, come on. Something through that car. From behind us.
Well, I'm not scared. I'm scared normally when these things happen.
Stuart, can you hear me, please?
This is weird because we're in where all the vats are, at the bottom of the vats, and there's lots of there's that sound you can hear in the background is, I think, gas escaping.
Suzanne, can you hear me?
What's that? What's that?
Somebody's talking to you.
Oh, it's a light.
Somebody talking.
Somebody's pressing a button. It's horrible up here, isn't it?
No one can hear me, no one can hear me. Has Stuart got a walkie-talkie?
I don't know who's got one, hon.
Will that be fixed throat, that's all?
Just, you know what frightens me more than anything is the thought of they're trying to hit you, like get out or leave. Or
No, they're not. They'd have hit us. They wouldn't. It's too far away from us. If that was a ghost trying to hit us, that's a pretty poorly aimed ghost.
Footsteps.
Did you hear footsteps?
Yes. Do you know, all right, I know it's creaky, but do you know, right, we're back at the the staircase. I reckon if we stand here...
Hello?
What? What do you mean, hello? I can hear footsteps and noises, and I know that there's nobody else here.
Stop it. You're fine. You're not going anywhere.
I was truly terrified. The noises we'd heard had been loud. Was it supernatural, or had something fallen from the ceiling? It didn't make a difference. I was incredibly scared.
Come on. I'm going to go back down there.
No, I'm not going back down there.
I'm going back down there. Go on, get a cup of tea.
I had had enough, but Carl went back on his own to find out what had happened to Stuart and John, as no one had heard from them, and we were getting worried.
Stu? John? Guys? Guys? Shit. I definitely heard a noise there. I'm off. There's a mate.
It wasn't long before John and Stuart returned safely, with little to report. But as far as Stuart was concerned, he had no idea what the rest of the night had in store for him.
Who's that?
The Greengate Brewery was a totally new experience for me. I can honestly say I have never been so scared in my life. I felt as if someone was trying to hit us with stones, as if they wanted us to leave. Well, they got their wish. I would not be returning. Derek, Tom, Phil and Richard had headed for the filing room, where a dark figure has been reported being seen. I had suggested that guest medium David Wells should join them, as it would be interesting to see if he could communicate with the same spirits as Derek.
Right now, whilst we're standing here, gentlemen, I know that we've got the energy of a spirit male. He's very close, so let's see what he's going to do. This level here now, it's really, really cool and chilling. Can you feel anything?
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm getting the name Thomas as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a bit of opening down there. What do you reckon we...
Yes, let's go further on. That's the name that was coming through earlier on, David.
Thomas,
yeah.
I can sense him here. It's really cold here, and I know you're hiding. He seems to be pulling away.
Yeah.
He's pulling away from us.
Yeah.
Almost like a frightened child, and he's making me feel very emotional, very almost tearful.
Yeah.
In fact, I can literally feel tears coming into my eyes now, and it feels. He of all of them, I think he's trying to tell me he's the loneliest. He seems really desperately lonely, and I think there's a sense of disfigurement.
Yeah.
In some way, shape, or form, of his body when he was alive, and I think maybe the word I'm looking for is shame. There's like a shameful feeling about him.
Did you get a touch?
No, we were all up here.
Popped me in the back.
Okay. Okay, it's again in the same area.
Yeah, same area. Just tapped me on the back.
There does seem to be something about this spot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know? I think he may have a desk here. His energy is very strong for all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Shall we head off to the boardroom then?
Yeah, if you wish.
Thomas, we're going to leave you now. Unless you want to make some contact with us now. This is your last chance. What the bloody hell?
Hold on. I had my back not anywhere near that.
Jesus.
And you just seen that,
Yes.
okay? I felt to my left shoulder just a passing and then it was like a sound, and then this.
Was that leaning up?
No, it wasn't, because I had my hand on that earlier. I was drawn to this area because of these books and to that cabinet, and it was definitely absolutely upright when I touched it and walked away.
Okay.
In contact with us now. This is your last.
Derek was certain he hadn't knocked the cupboard. Could a loose floorboard have caused it to move?
Bloody hell. This is your last chance.
Or was it the spirit of Thomas trying to communicate with the group? No other activity occurred, so they decided to move to the boardroom.
This, got it, is the key to the boardroom, and it's been locked.
The group were disappointed to see that the glass, which was left as a trigger object, hadn't moved.
Is there anybody active in this room at the moment, Derek or David?
I know we're being listened to. I've been aware of that all the time, but I'm not. There's no individual, as far as what I can see at the moment or hear, actually either walking around this room or is totally present here yet.
No, I agree with you. There's no one being that I can sense here.
Mm-hmm.
Although this room itself is very powerful.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Despite the presence of two mediums, no contact was made with Thomas or any of the other supposed spirits that are rumoured to haunt the boardroom. Stuart decided to conduct a solo vigil in the barrel room, but was he alone?
Are you here? Are you a nasty spirit or are you a good spirit? I trust you to be a nice spirit. I don't wish you any harm. I'm your friend, and I hope you're my friend. What the is that? This is going to be the longest 30 minutes of my entire life. Torch on. I can't stay in the darkness like this. I need to know I can see something. This is the only thing that's going to get me through the 30 minutes, knowing I've got a flashlight and I can see something. Otherwise I'm going to panic. I'm not claustrophobic in any way, shape or form, and I'm not scared of the dark. But one thing I am scared of is ghosts and poltergeists. And I'm sure you lot at home are too. Are you here? Would you like to communicate with me? Would you like to show yourself? Is there anybody there? I can hear something splashing in the puddle. I'm sorry, I don't think I can go any longer. Who's that? Oh, fucking hell. Can you hear that? Can you hear that? The barrels are rolling. Can you hear that? That's what they heard earlier on. Is there anybody down there? Something's there, something there. Oh no! Can you see that? Hello? Oh my God. Is there anyone there? Hello? I'm going to radio back to control. I'm taking this well. I'm going to speak to Yvette. I'm going to see if there's any members of the crew missing. Hello, Yvette, can you hear me over? It's Stuart. Hello, is there anyone there? Over.
After receiving Stuart's distress call, the rest of the crew converged on the barrel room. No one else had been in the vicinity when he had witnessed the barrel rolling of its own accord. Everyone had their own theory as to what had caused it. Luckily, we had an expert witness on hand.
I don't know how a barrel would roll on its own. It is on an incline down there. It's specifically made for barrels to roll down, but they don't roll on their own. They need a push.
Is there anyone there?
To the best of David's knowledge, the barrel run had also been totally empty at the start of the night. So was this evidence of paranormal activity? It was certainly not the only strange event to occur during this terrifying night. There'd been lots of audible activity during both the vigils and Derek's walk around. Crew members had witnessed the movement of objects, and for some of us, the tense atmosphere itself had been too much to bear.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there.
I want to go now.
There's nothing there.
Please.
I knew when we arrived this morning that it was going to be good because it was different and it just had the right feel about it. But I didn't think it was going to be as good as it has been, because we've had so many things happen to us, so many things crack off, and I don't think that any vigil has actually gone out without something unexplained happening on each one.
It's definitely a first for me. I've never been to a place so unusual to do an investigation. A brewery is not one of the first places you'd think of for doing a paranormal investigation at. And to me, yeah, it was a bit unusual, but I was looking forward to it. I didn't know what to expect.
The highlight of the whole event for me has got to be what happened in the attic. Not knowing what's on the other side of the shelves, knowing that there was a figure with a brown cloak and a brown hood that's been seen up there, Derek picking up on it, and then just before we left, wow, that glass case that was rocked at the back of Derek. And I mean, there is absolutely, in my opinion, no possibility that anybody did that. It was pure, unadulterated paranormal activity at its best.
During the walk around, not an awful lot happened until approximately halfway through the lit walk around.
Are you having a laugh?
When we were ascending the upper levels of the brewery, that's when we heard the keg noises. I can only describe it as two metal kegs, beer kegs, being banged together in quick succession 5 times.
Bang, bang, was it in there or was it down there?
Personally, I would like to think it was paranormal activity purely due to the fact that we know nobody was around. We know where all the crew are. We know where the on-site staff are. So I can categorically say nobody was around to cause those noises.
During this investigation, all the incidents that happen could be described as physical phenomena. That means they're bangs or objects apparently moving on their own. So let's take these in turn. First of all, quite early in the investigation, the crew hear 6 loud bangs in succession. What's particularly impressive about this is that all the crew are present and together. So what did cause the bangs, I don't know.
Unless you want to make some contact with us now, this is your last chance.
When Richard and Derek's group are in the attic, a cupboard appears to move all by itself. Now the problem with this piece of footage is that the crew are actually very near to the cupboard, and also you can't see all of the cupboard on the clip, which means it's very difficult to rule out the possibility that one of them accidentally knocked it.
Just a passing.
Later on, when Stuart is alone in the barrel room, he too hears a noise which turns out to be a barrel rolling apparently on its own towards him. Again, I don't find that surprising. He finds that very frightening. If it was me there, I would be very frightened. The difficulty is knowing exactly what caused that barrel to move. We can't see whether or not someone pushed it, but as far as we know, there was no one else down there with him. Also, it seems unlikely the barrel could have simply moved on its own. Now, what's of interest to note is that other people have also reported experiencing this, but as far as I know, this is the first time it's happened when the person's being on their own.
Appearances can be deceptive. From the outside, the Greengate Brewery had seemed like an ordinary building. But as the shadows of darkness closed in, we experienced what had to be one of the most terrifying nights of our lives. Until the next time, sleep tight.
Tomorrow at 9,